right, welcome to Africa Sports Network, live right here from Houston, Texas. My name is Sam. You already know what time it is. Yes. A lot of things happening in Nigerian sports. The Olympics is on. Our athletes, 20 of them, will not be taking part in the athletic event of the Olympics, which is quite a disgrace and to the NOC and to the Nigerian Sports Ministry. Yesterday, I spoke with the media officer of Nigeria Olympic Committee, Femi Adetula, on my Instagram live, and we spoke a lot about a whole lot of things before the news broke about 20 Nigerian athletes who couldn't pass the art of competition test, which shows integrity in the sports. Welcome once again to Africa Sports Network. So today we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff as it pertains to Nigeria participation in the Olympics and other international sports. Also, I will chip in one or two things coming from the Major League Soccer because we are into week 16 and the Houston Dynamo are at home against the Real Salt Lake. So come with me. I am loaded this morning to dish out to you all those juicy stories coming from the world of sports. Take a short break. When I return, we're going to the show proper. Welcome back to the show. This is Africa Sports Network. We are streaming on Facebook and also we'll upload this video on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That name you've seen on your screen, Africa Sports Network. Africa with a K, Sport with a Z, and Network. That will take you to our YouTube channel for you to subscribe to it. And also follow us on Instagram, Africa Sports Network. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, and hit the subscribe button on those social media platforms. Okay, the news broke that 20 athletes of Nigerian descent won't be taking part in the track and field event that kicks off tomorrow, being Friday, in Tokyo, as the Olympic 2020 goes on. My question is this: did the Nigerian Sports Ministry, did the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, or the NOC just found out that they have to conduct art of competition tests to protect the integrity of the sports? I was reading Blessing Okagbara, her tweet. She said, if you do not know the sports, if you don't understand the sports, if you don't understand the administrative arm of the sports, having passion for it is not enough to administer the sports. So how will you tell me that the sports minister, the sports ministry, Nigeria Olympic Committee, the AFN, the president, everybody that are administering sports in Nigeria, as per this Olympic is concerned, have no idea that they have to conduct art of competition tests to protect the integrity of the sports? I don't know. I'm just asking. Alexa, off. I'm just asking. Just asking a question. So I'm going to put up a clip on the bar right now. This is coming from the Athletics Integrity Unit, the AIU. They say 20 athletes not eligible for Tokyo 2020 as minimum testing requirement not met by Category A federations. I mean, how can we explain this as athletes who have spent thousands of dollars, went for competitions to get their body, their mind, their soul ready for this event that comes one time in 4 years? They have been disqualified due to a fault that is not their own. I mean, when you read what the AIU released on the 28th of July in Monaco, despite applicant improvement in the domestic testing programs in countries categorized as being the highest doping risk to the sports under the World Athletics Anti-Doping Rule, 18 athletes from the final entries for the Tokyo Olympic Games are not eligible to compete because the minimum testing requirement under Rule 15 of the anti-doping rules were not met by Category A federations. In addition, 2 athletes from Kenya were replaced by the National Federation prior to the submission of their entries to the World Athletics. Nigeria is the most affected country, not meeting the minimum requirement under Rule 15 for athletes. I mean, it is just a shame. How can we even start to talk about this? I mean, this is the reason why I came. Listen, in where I am right now, this is what the time it is. It is 2:34 a.m. I should be asleep, but sleep eluded me when I keep thinking about this. I keep thinking about it. I keep thinking about it. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries listed here. I think Nigeria is the most affected among all of them. 20 athletes. 20. And that has dwindled or diminished our chance of getting even a copper medal in the Olympics. I get it. Sometimes people will say, oh, it's not all about winning medals. Just go there and participate. You know, if you participate, if you don't win medal, you are a hero. Tell me more about that and I will understand where you're coming from. That athlete who spent thousands of dollars, travel for training tours, prepare their mind, their body, their soul for this event that comes once in 4 years. And due to a fault that is not theirs, they cannot take part. It is a shame to the country. It is a shame to the NOC. It is a shame to this man. This is the sports minister, Mr. Sunday Darie. I think he was busy gallivanting on a wild goose chase. I mean, you are the sports minister. You should know better that there are things that should be done prior to the Olympics. Who dropped the ball? Who will take the blame? If the blame is a pizza, who will take the piece of pie? So who will do that? Just asking a question because yes, this athlete will be sent out from the Olympic Village because if you ain't going to participate, you don't have no reason occupying those accommodations in the Olympic Village. This event might cause this athlete to have mental breakdown. I work in mental health. It takes just a little snap of finger for someone to lose their mind. Stuff like this can cause someone to go into mental breakdown. Maybe we don't care about that. Maybe we don't even care one bit. And how do you think we can prevent stuff like this from happening or repeating itself again? Nigerian sports scene is so decayed that even Leon Balogun, who have over 30 caps for Nigeria, is complaining about the federation not meeting their financial responsibility to the players. Match bonuses owed, appearance fee owed, and stuff like that. When was the last time we heard countries like Brazil, England, Germany, France talk about match bonuses unpaid over 10, 15 games or over competitions already played? Now, the Olympics where all these athletes that compete, once in few months have the chance to showcase to the world, their talent so they can, apart from going to Olympic, give them that level playing ground for them to at least get an endorsement. How do you think they survive? How much does the ministry pay these athletes when they are not competing? This is the decadence in the Nigerian sports scene. And I think it's high time we put a stop to this. It's high time we stop appointing politicians into sports positions. It's high time we use professionals as athletes. in these various positions so that they understand the intricacies, the intrigues in competition requirement. But most of these politicians don't care one bit. When will this thing stop? My name is Sam. Once again, welcome to Africa Sports Network. We're talking about this Olympic disgrace from the NOC, from the Nigerian Sports Ministry, and from the Nigerian Sports Minister. How can we stop this? 20 athletes will be going home from the Olympics because of no fault of theirs. It is so disheartening. It is so much disheartening. For you to join me on the show, I put up a link on my Facebook wall. Just click it, it will take you straight into my studio so we can have a chit chat about this. I'm telling you, man, come on, let's talk about it. I'm streaming live on Facebook, and I will upload this video on my YouTube for us to really, chop this thing up, because it is very shameful. It is very disgraceful for this athlete to exit the Olympics due to no fault of theirs. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I'm falling short of cussing out here on air, but I gotta be professional about it, regardless of how angry I am, regardless of how disappointed I am on the ongoing issue. So I'll take a short break. When I return, the conversation continue on who is to blame for this disgraceful outing of our Nigerian athlete at the Olympics, and 20 of them will be sent home due to no fault of theirs. My name is Sam, Africa Sports Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. This is Africa Sports Network. My name is Sam from Houston, Texas. Streaming on our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel. Just go to Africa Sports Network, Africa with a K, Sports with a Z, and subscribe to that channel for our wonderful content we have on that level. So I was asking for a short break, who is to blame for this disgraceful event at the Olympics that has caused 20 athletes of Nigeria not to participate in the athletic event that will kick off tomorrow in Tokyo. I mean, the AFN, are we going to blame the AFN, the Athletic Federation of Nigeria? We're going to blame them? Are you going to tell me that they don't have idea that there should be out of competition testing to protect the integrity of the sports? Are you going to tell me that? You can't tell me that, man. Listen, stuff like this make me wonder if our administrators are even intelligent. I mean, how can you be administering the sports and you don't know that you should, submit out of competition tests to protect integrity? To know that your federation is in the category A, top of the doping list. How can you even explain that to the athlete? Who is to be blamed? This is the AFM president. So, like I said before, if the blame is a pizza, every one of them should have the piece of the pie. It's inexcusable. It's very reprehensible. It is very reprehensible. These things should go unpunished. It should not go unpunished, I beg your pardon. It shouldn't. It should never go unpunished. But I will come back to that later. On the 9th and 10th of August 2021 in Tombo, Texas, a newly formed club in the UPSL, FC Mane, which is owned by a Nigerian, he acquired the majority stake in this club. His name is Osagi. He acquired the majority stake. He will be having a tryout come August 9th and 10th at Cedar Lane in Tombo, Texas, for under 16 age 16 and above. Just come. It's a semi-pro soccer. This is a new franchise, even though yes, it has been there, but the majority stake was taken over by a Nigerian. He's my friend. You might have seen him several times on my show where we chop up all the MLS stuff. His name is Chris Akato. He is the majority owner of FC Mane, and we're having an open trials in Texas, Tombo, Texas, for us to recruit players for the upcoming season. So if you're around the continent of USA, regardless of where you are, come down to Tombo, Texas on the 9th and 10th of August for this tryout. And I promise you, if you have talent, you will surely be picked. It's a new club. You stand a chance of making history to be, the first set of players that will play for this club. FC Mane having a tryout on the 9th and 10th of August. So make a time, make it date, come around. So back to what I was talking about as regard the 20 athletes of Nigeria who won't be taking part in the track and field event at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics due to failure to submit out of competition test to protect integrity of the sport. Who will be blamed for this brouhaha? Who do you think should be blamed for this? Listen, I just don't know how to even start talking about this, because it is so wrong. When you look at what AIU, the Athletic Integrity Unit, put up as regard this stuff, that these countries are in the category A, of World Anti-Doping List, but the fact is that our sports administrators should have known that they have to submit out of competition tests. When you read what they said is their reason of booting these athletes, they said, under the framework of Rule 13 governing the National Federation Anti-Doping Obligation, which came into force in January 2019, national federations are accountable for ensuring appropriate anti-doping measures are in place in their respective jurisdictions. Among other things, the rules set up minimum requirements for testing on the national team of Category A federations deemed to have the highest doping risk and considered as a threat to the overall integrity of the sport. The key requirement in Rule 15 is that an athlete from a Category A country must undergo at least 3 no-notice out-of-competition tests, urine and blood, conducted in less than 3 weeks apart in the 10th month leading up to a major event. Only then do they become eligible to represent their national team at the World Athletics Championship or the Olympic Games. All right. They said, they set out the rule that this rule came into effect in 2019. That means the rule did not start last night. That means the rule didn't start in 2020, the year of pandemic. The rule came into effect in January 2019. And how did Nigeria even get into the category A of countries and with high doping risk? When was the last time a Nigerian athlete failed a doping test? How did we end up in this quagmire? How did we fall short to follow a rule that came into effect on January 19, 2019? How? Does it mean that we have some numbskulls in the NIS? Does it mean that those that administer sports in Nigeria don't understand the rule of the games? I mean, I'm still trying to, get my head wrapped around the whole thing. It's very mind-boggling when you read, what they should have done prior to the Olympics. Our sports minister, Sunday Daria, was gallivanting on a wild goose chase. Had it been he sat his butt down in his office and really go through the rules that govern Olympics and World Championships, he should have learned that, my athlete need 3 no-notice out-of-competition tests that will be conducted according to their rule 3 weeks apart in the 10th month leading to a major event. That means the Olympics, which was built to start in July, they should have done that all the way in November last year, or even October or September last year. They should have. But look at us here. We're not competing. At least we stand a chance of, yes, bless knockout, but I don't think her name is in those athletes that will be sent home because she competes globally. And I think she really took care of her own side of this stuff. But what about those athletes who couldn't take care of their own end? That means the sports ministry, the NOC, failed them. There is no two ways about it. There is no argument about who failed who. I mean, this is a huge eye-opener for everybody associated with sports in Nigeria. If you want to administer sports in Nigeria, at least you have the fundamental knowledge of how the sports work. You have the fundamental knowledge of all the rules and regulations that govern the sport. Where do we go from here? The next Olympics is 2024 in Paris. Let's even talk about winning medal in the Olympics. I get it. When I spoke with the NOC spokesperson yesterday on my Instagram live, yes, we went to the Olympics with gymnastics for the first time. So commendable. The young man, Uche Eke, who schooled at University of Michigan as another gymnast, went to the Olympics for Nigeria for the first time. I think this is an eye-opener for him. He will go back, practice more, train more, attend more gymnastic competitions, and maybe he may stand a chance of picking up a medal for Nigeria when next he compete. But aside from that, who will take responsibility for this quagmire? Who will take responsibility for this disgrace? Who will take responsibility for this stupidity. Yeah, I keep reading what they say. They said also, implementation of Rule 15. Several milestones were achieved. Some of the key highlights being over 1,600 out of competition tests conducted in the domestic programs of these federations, in addition to AIU tests on the athlete in the international register testing pool since the start of 2021. Aside from serving as a strong deterrent to potential doping, these increased testing resulted in adverse analytical findings, highlighting the importance of strong national level testing in these federations. National federations must play their part in supporting anti-doping efforts. Yes, if you have to compete in a sport, you have to do it clean. I'm a big fan of clean competition. I'm a big fan of clean competition. A month before the Olympics, U.S. sprint sensation Sha'Carri Richardson failed drug test, and she tested positive to marijuana. Yes, I get it. 19 U.S. states have legalized marijuana for recreational use, but the federal government are yet to decriminalize marijuana. U.S. Athletic Federation abide by world anti-doping rules. They do not abide to any state rule. Reason why I understand the uproar, the backlash that Richardson's suspension generated when that news broke. But when you talk about being responsible as an athlete, you know the rule before you sign up. You know the rule before you sign up. When you know the rule of engagement, why are you trying to circumvent it? Does it even make sense? Does it? Just asking a question. Sometimes you just ask some common sense questions to get an answer, but sometimes, the answer won't come. The answer is right in front of you there for you to see. Like I said, national federations must play their part in supporting anti-doping effort. The eligibility rules for athletes from Category A countries are very clear, and compliance is essential for cementing the required long-term change and ensuring a level playing field for clean athletes. So now we have these countries. Belarus entered 35 athletes for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. 3 were booted out. Bahrain entered 13 athletes. They have 0. Bahrain is a tiny country in the Asian continent. Ethiopia entered 44 athletes. Only 1 was booted out. Kenya entered 40 athletes, but they were so smart to replace the 2 who were not in compliance. Morocco entered 16 athletes. 1 was booted out. Nigeria entered 23 athletes. 10 booted out. Imagine if these 10 at least could have gotten a bronze medal. Maybe in the long jump, maybe in the... I just don't know. And while Ukraine entered 51 athletes, 3 were booted out. So a total of 222 athletes were entered. And a total of 20 of them were all booted out. And Nigeria accounts for the highest number. 10. I mean, man, it's so very disheartening that this is happening in this time and day, that we have sports administrators who couldn't understand the simple rudiment of the game, and now they will go around trying to you know it is a no. This should be the straw that will break the camel back. I mean, these Olympics, I don't know if I would say is our most disastrous Olympic we've taken part in. I mean, when you look at, we've not picked up a medal. Yes, our swimmer set a new national record and personal record. It's an achievement. I give it to her. But isn't high time we should be competing strongly in the aquatic sports? Listen, we have riverine communities in Nigeria. What about basketball? We celebrate the Tigers. We celebrate them anytime they win a game. We're happy that now we have a lot of NBA players of Nigerian descent switching allegiance trying to play for Nigeria. But check this out. These players are a product of a well-structured collegiate program, the NCAA. What if the NCAA is moribund like Nigerian School Sports Federation? What if the NCAA is moribund like the Nuga Games? What if the NCAA is outdated like the Nipoga Games? How could we have discovered this basketball talent? We will not. So while we celebrate the Tigers and the Tigress, we should also look at ourselves and say, how can we produce the next Jahil Okofo? How can we produce the next Precious Achoma? How can we produce the next superstar in basketball? Like Femi said, there should be a viable sports policy. School Sports Federation should be revamped. Nuga Games should be revamped. Just imagine if we have a well-structured collegiate program and we partner with NCAA. Don't you think that will open the floodgate of an athlete getting drafted in U.S. sports? Ejikwu Gbaja, I think, remained the only Nigerian basketball player to be drafted straight from Nigeria. He never played in any NCAA program until he was drafted. Can't we use that as a blueprint? Divine Odudu, our 100-meter sensation, is a product of NCAA. He went to Texas Tech. He is the only national champion that school have produced in recent past. Blessed Nokabara went to University of Texas El Paso. Why we lag behind in Nigeria in athletics and other sports? Other nations are excelling. 18-year-old Tunisian won gold in 400 meters freestyle. Bahamas, Philippines, all these tiny countries have picked up medals. The woman that won gold in weightlifting won silver in the Rio Games. According to her story, which I read, she went to Malaysia to train, and COVID pandemic struck. She said for 2 years she hasn't seen her family. She trained, and now her training has paid off with a gold medal. So you don't just wake up 6 months to the Olympics and you want to win a medal. It takes years of hard work, years of training. Just like a doctor doesn't wake up in 6 months and said, "Oh, I'm a doctor." It takes over 10 years of training for you to hone and perfect your skills. So, my people, now try the talk. Not be say I dey speak only grammar. Time don't reach, make we wake up. Time don't reach, make we wake up. Imagine losing 10 athletes for this Olympic. Man, it depend me, I'm not gonna lie you, man. It depend me. Take a short break. When I come back, we continue. Welcome back to Africa Sports Network. My name is Sam. You already know what time it is. Like I told you, FC Mane will be having a tryout come August 9th and 10th in Tombo, Texas for the upcoming season. So if you are around this environment, make sure you have a date with FC Mane tryout as we pick players. I'm the media liaison officer of that club, so that's why you'll be seeing me talking more about FC Mane and UPSL. Yeah, I'm going to switch my focus and my attention, to UPSL so that we can really, give you the exposure it really requires. Yes, like I said, if you wanted to join me on the program, I put up a link on my page. Just click on the link. It will bring you straight to my studio so we can have a chit chat about this disgrace that Nigeria Sports Ministry brought to 10 of our athletes. Their inability to really understand the intricacy of what they should have done, 10 months prior to the Olympics. Okay, all right. Let's talk a little bit about the Major League Soccer. Dynamo this Friday will host Real Salt Lake at the BBVA Stadium for the week 16 of the MLS. Yes, MLS week 16. I'll be right back with that in a bit. right, welcome back to Africa Sports Network. My name is Sam. Now we make a switch from Olympics now to the MLS because on Saturday the Houston Dynamo will be at home to welcome Real Salt Lake in a Western Conference cracker here at the BBVA Stadium. Dynamo are winless in 8 games. Their last draw was against San Jose this past week 15, where they played a 1-1 draw. Mataya's very long-range effort gave Dynamo the early lead, but they couldn't keep up as Zarek Valentine scored an own goal. But the fact is that Dynamo are missing up to 5 players who are on duty for their national teams at the current CAF Gold Cup, which is in the semi-final stage. And today, the U.S. men national team will take on Qatar in the first semi-finals, while Canada will take on Mexico in the second semi-finals. Man, it's gonna be a cracker. Who will be in the CONCACAF Gold Cup finals? I don't know. But Dynamo will be at home this weekend to welcome Real Salt Lake. When they played in Utah, it was a 1-1 draw that settled the score, and Dynamo picked a point from Real Salt Lake. But now Dynamo are 9th in the Western Conference, and they are seeking their first win in 8 games. Tab Ramos is kind of worried. Yes, he should be. Dynamo are 9th. They are out of the playoff position. And Tab Ramos set a target for himself to pick that postseason ticket for Houston this season. This is his second year as the manager of the Houston Dynamo. Yes, they acquired Tenej Hadebe, the Zimbabwean who made the switch from a Turkish league to the MLS. So far, so good. Dynamo head coach Tab Ramos believes that Tenej Hadebe is a great addition to the team. And I asked when I ran a Twitter poll, will he have that Van Dijk effect on Dynamo? I got 100% yes. This should be his home debut. We'll start for Dynamo. Yeah. If he's going to start, this should be his home debut. Talking about Tenej Hadebe, the Zimbabwe international. Now we have 2 Africans playing for Dynamo, Derrick Jones of Ghana and Tenej Hadebe from Zimbabwe. So maybe one day they will give us a Nigerian player. I've been on their neck for them to sign one of us. And they keep promising, we will. You know, Nigerian players are expensive, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I think they really do need Nigerian players so they can tap into this community of soccer lovers. So we have a lot of games. The game that kicked off on week 16 was between Minnesota and LAFC at the Bank of California Stadium. And Minnesota came from behind twice to draw 2-2 away from home. I mean, when you look at Minnesota United, how they started their season, they started slowly. And surely they are right there. When you look at where they are right now in the Western Conference, FC Minnesota are 6th in the Western Conference, while Real Salt Lake are 7th. Dynamo are 9th, 17 points from 15 games this season. While Sporting KC are just 2 points behind Seattle Sounders. And week 15 brought a lot of surprises. It ran 38 goals in week 15. Sporting KC went to Lumen Field and they did what no other team have done this season. In fact, this calendar year. They went to Lumen Field. They beat Seattle Sounders 3-1. If that is not an intent, if that is not a statement from Sporting KC in the Western Conference, I don't know what else I would term to be a great statement from that club. Now they are just 2 points away from Seattle, and they've played one game less than Seattle Sounders. So LA Galaxy, we are trashed 4-0 by FC Dallas in Frisco. I mean, FC Dallas, prior to this game, we are 13th in the Western Conference. Now they've won 2 games back-to-back. They are 10th, and they were replaced by another team from Texas, MLS newcomers, Austin FC. Yes. Austin have 13 points from 14 games. So they've played lesser games than every other team. So they're coming up. When you go to the Eastern Conference, New England Revolution are still the king of that conference this season. They are 7 points clear. This is first time a team is pulling away by 7 points from the chasing pack. I asked in my subsequent editions, do we think that Nashville FC are a playoff team? I think Nashville have the tightest of defense. They are very stingy in conceding goals. They are second in the Eastern Conference, 26 points from 15 games. While Orlando City Football Club, who were trashed 5-0 by New York City FC in week 15, are third in the Eastern Conference. Philly Union are fourth, 24 points from 16 games. But mind you, on Saturday by 6 p.m. 6 p.m. West African time, I will be on elegbetevtv.com/radio, Lagos, Nigeria, to bring to you MLS as I see them on that platform as I take you on a jolly ride around the world of the Major League Soccer. So keep a date with us on Saturday, 6 p.m. West African time, elegbetevtv.com/radio. Get the app, log on the website, and enjoy MLS as I see them on that platform. So in the Eastern Conference, Inter Miami, yes, why whenever we talk about Inter Miami, there is this laughter that pops up. I think Inter Miami problem, is recruitment. I think they are trying to be the Galacticos of MLS. But MLS have veered away from that direction of signing big no names and you want them to bulldoze their way through the league. No. I get it. Signing Blaise Matuidi, Gonzalo Higuain, Ryan Shawcross, Kieran Gibbs, bringing all these experienced players, boost the club match revenue in terms of ticket sales, jersey sales, merchandise sales. But we are talking about results on the field of play. Have not really been anything way near to what it should be at Inter Miami. And with the first team, first year head coach Phil Neville with the club, can we say he's learning the MLS curve? Can we say the MLS curve is too steep for him to learn? Can we say if Inter Miami had a different coach, what could have been his fate? Because already 2 coaches have been fired this season. Toronto FC fired Chris Armas, while Atlanta fired Gabriel Hines. Who will be the third coach to get booted out? Chicago Fire, we thought that they have conquered their issues, but it seems that issue is back again. They are winless in 3 games. Their last game was a 1-1 home, was a loss to Toronto FC at Soldier Field, home turf. Niger Burkina Suffolk got his first MLS goal in week 13. So right now, when you go to the Eastern Conference, Chicago Fire are 13th in that 14-team table, 12 points from 15 games, not even average of 1 point per game. Let's say if MLS operate on a relegation system, these teams are prime candidates for relegation. I want to see Chinamsoa perform so well in the MLS. I want to see him move to the mainstream Europe. I want to see him score goals. I want to talk about him every day on the program, how he bangs in goals and goals and goals. I'm trying to bring him on my celebrity sports interview. In fact, I'll be having Teenage Hadebe on my celebrity sports interview anytime soon. Yes, I'm negotiating that to bring him on the show. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Africa Sports Network, for you to enjoy that interview that will come when Teenage Hadebe will debut on Africa Sports Network. Right there, week 16 come with these games. Let's look at the game schedule for week 16 and let's see. The week 16 started with a 2-2 draw, Minnesota against LAFC at the Bank of California Stadium. Now we have tomorrow, New York City Football Club against MLS champions Columbus Crew. New York City Football Club will be at home in New York to welcome Columbus Crew, while Orlando, who we are beating 5-0 by NYCFC, will be at home to welcome Atlanta United, who also we are beaten by Columbus Crew. LA Galaxy will be at home to welcome Portland Timbers. These two teams lost their games in week 15, so they need to salvage or they are looking for redemption. On Saturday, Seattle will be at home to welcome San Jose. Seattle lost 3-1 to Sporting KC, so they will be very cautious playing San Jose, who played a 1-1 draw against Houston Dynamo. While Red Bull New York will also be at home to welcome Eastern Conference leaders New England Revolution, led by Bruce Arena. FC Cincinnati will be at home to welcome DC United, while Inter Miami will be at home to welcome Club de Football de Montreal. Houston will be at home to welcome the Real Salt Lake, while Sporting KC and FC Dallas will trade tackle. Then we have Austin FC and Colorado Rapids, and we have Vancouver and Minnesota. Then we have the final game of the week 16 will be Philadelphia Union and then Chicago Fire. So these are the games lined up in the week 16 of the Major League Soccer. So keep it date on Africa Sports Network. Okay, Toronto and Nashville also with trade tackle. I ain't talking about the Gold Cup in Conca because they deny me permit to cover the games. So these are the games that is lined up in this week action of the MLS. So maybe the time difference make it a little bit difficult for Nigerians to watch MLS, but make sure you subscribe to Africa Sports Network, because after the games I come on Monday to take us around the MLS, top goals, top manager, team of the week, and blah, blah, blah. So make sure that you keep a date. Yes, time is fast spent on the show today, and I appreciate every one of you who watched, who commented. Make sure that you subscribe, you share, you like, and you follow. My name is Sam. Thank you for watching. Until I come your way again, remain blessed.